This is the Bettors Edge. I'm your host, Rusty Betts. That's your co-host, Randee the Parlay Killer. And boy, we got a card for you tomorrow, April 24th. It's going down. UFC 261, the rematch. Usman versus Masdival. Going down at the VyStar Arena in front of a full capacity crowd in Jacksonville, Florida. 3 title fights. Holy smokes. We got a packed card for you, and we got some great picks for you. Let's get into it. Let's go ahead and start off with the early prelims. We got a women's strawweight bout. We got Na Liang versus Ariane Carnelossi. Carnelossi opens up at a -210 favorite with Na Liang as a +165 underdog. Randee, what's your take?
Here I'm gonna go with the Brazilian. I'm picking Ariane Carnelossi in this fight. She's already had experience fighting Angela Hill in the UFC. I like that. I like the experience on her side. She's already been in the UFC, and Liang now, this is gonna be her first fight there. Yeah, give me Ariane Carnelossi.
I'm with you there. She has the more experienced fights against the better fighters. I'm going to go with the favorite here. I'm going to go with Carnelossi as a -210 favorite. Next up, we have a flyweight bout. Jeffrey Molina versus, I can't even pronounce his name. What's his name?
Auri Kileng.
Yeah. Well, at the end of the day, it sounds like a fucking loser to me. Sounds like a loser to me. I'm going to go with Jeffrey Molina coming out of Glory MMA. I think he has something to prove. A lot of hype on this guy. What's your take?
Yeah, I'm going to side with you too. I'm going to go with Jeffrey Molina. I am surprised how close the line is. I know there's a lot of hype between Jeffrey Molina. He's coming out of a good camp out of Glory MMA Fitness. But yeah, I like Jeffrey Molina. Give me Jeffrey Molina.
Nice, nice. Next up on the early prelims, we got a lightweight bout. Zhu Rong versus Kazula Vargas. Zhu Rong has a -250 favorite. Vargas has a +195. What's your take on this?
There's a lot of hype between this kid Zhu Rong. He's training out of the Performance Institute out of Shanghai, China. Rodrigo Vargas, though, he does have the experience edge in the UFC. He fought Brock Weaver in his last fight. He was actually winning that fight until he got disqualified. Also fought a good opponent in Alex De Silva, lost that. The line should be closer in my opinion, but I'm going to follow the hype. I'm going to go with Zhu Rong as my first Chinese fighter to win on this card.
Man, we are going to be 3-3. I agree with you here. Zhu Rong is on a 10-fight winning streak. Out of those 10 fights, he finished 9 of them by KO or submission. Given his opponents are not in the UFC, I mean, he looks good until he's proven that he's not. I have to go with him. All right, and now for the last fight on our early prelims, we got the Hawaii boy Kevin Natividad as an underdog +150 against Dana Batgirl as a -180 favorite. Who do you have?
I like Kevin. Well, I originally picked Kevin Natividad going into this fight. He looked very good in his last fight, despite getting knocked out by Miles Johns. But I think I'm gonna side with Dana Bagheri in this fight. I'm gonna side with him. I know he's been training. He trains out of the Bitter camp. He's been training with Greg Jackson for this camp. He's coming off a knockout. I think he's got some momentum going. Forgive me, Hawaii. I got to go with the Mongolian fighter in this one.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. This one I had to go back and forth with. At the end of the day, what sticks in my head is the Miles Johns fight and how great Kevin Natividad looked, although he did get finished. I put my money on Kevin Natividad the last time around. I'm gonna go ahead and double up and give him another shot as an underdog here. So give me like the Kevin Natividad at +150 odds. All right. Now to our prelims. We got Patrick Sabatini at minus 230 against Tristan Connolly as an underdog plus 180 in this featherweight fight. What's your take?
So this is going to be Pat Sabatini's first fight in the UFC. He was actually supposed to fight earlier on this year against Rafael Alves, but he missed weight. So he actually has a full camp going into this fight. Tristan Connolly is coming off a long injury. He looked very good in his last fight at welterweight. That's 2 weight classes up above this one. He fought a good opponent in Michel Pereira, but then watching that fight, I just think Michel Pereira lost because he gassed out. He threw everything in that first round. I like Pat Sabatini. He's a CFFC featherweight champ. There's a lot of hype around him as well. I'm gonna pick him. I like his wrestling credentials and his jiu-jitsu credentials to get him the win here.
You bring up some good points there. No, you bring up some good points. I'm with you there. I'm liking Sabatini a lot. A lot of folks coming from other organizations as of late, former champions, have been showing up and showing out in the UFC. So give me Sabatini as a minus 230 fave. Next up on our middleweight bout, we got Carl Robertson plus 132 against Brendan Allen as a favorite minus 165. Who you got in this fight?
This is actually a good fight. As you can tell with the odds, Brendan Allen's a slight favorite. This is going to be a second fight coming out of Stanford MMA. He's lost his first fight to Sean Strickland. Carl Robertson, he got beat up in his last fight against Marvin Vettori, but we all know how good Marvin Vettori is. I'm gonna go with Carl Robertson. Actually, he's trained with Corey Anderson in the past. Corey Anderson had a lot of good things to say about Carl Robertson. Very good striker. He's working on his defense. This is going to be a close fight, but I like Carl Robertson because he does have. I think there's a big striking edge in the stand-up for Carl Robertson. So you make Robertson with the upset.
Man, I can't disagree, but I was going back and forth. This was a tough fight for me. At the end of the day, I feel like this has the potential fight of the night written all over it. What really stuck to me is Brendan Allen's win over Kevin Holland. And I feel that he has what it takes to go in there and beat Robertson. So give me Brendan Allen as the fave in this bout. Next up, we have a welterweight bout. Dwight Grant minus 240 against Stefan Sucklet at plus 180. Who do you have?
Well, I had to do some research on Stefan Kulic. I didn't know too much about him. I just realized that he just lost to Ramazan Emeev. Ramazan Emeev is actually a legit contender in that weight class, in my opinion. Then I look at Dwight Grant. He's also coming off a loss to Daniel Rodriguez. We all saw what Daniel Rodriguez did to Mike Perry in his last fight. I was watching the Weighing In podcast earlier this week. Dwight Grant used to train out of AKA. He was a former training partner for Luke Rockhold and Josh Thompson. Josh Thompson liked to compare Dwight Grant to a Francis Ngannou for the welterweight division for some reason. That sticks out to me. I've always been impressed with Dwight Grant's stand-up. Give me Dwight Grant.
This is a tough one. At first, I like Dwight Grant, but after looking at the line movement, Dwight Grant has been showing up and showing out lately, but this line movement just staying at minus 240 for the most part just leaves me thinking that Sekulic has something to offer. I have to look into Sekulic as well, but I think he's a dark horse of these prelims. So give me Sekulic at plus 180. Now we got the main event for our prelims, a welterweight bout. We got Cowboy Alex Oliveira versus Randee Brown. Randee Brown coming in as the fave, minus 155 against Alex Oliveira, plus 125. What's your take on this big fight here?
Well, it's a good fight. The line's closer than I thought it would be. I really like Randee Brown in Alex Oliveira, the Brazilian cowboy, he's lost a lot of momentum, in my opinion. I don't think very highly of him anymore. I think Randy Brown has a very high ceiling. He's only improving every fight. He's getting better. In my opinion, I can't see Randy Brown losing this fight. I don't. Give me Randy Brown.
I 100% agree with you here. I think Oliveira is on his way out of the UFC. He's so old. This old man is rubbish. Max Griffin fight. We're supposed to win that fight. Split decision. I felt like Max Griffin should have taken that. Can't believe he beat Peter Sabata. I felt like Alex Oliveira was, on his way out too during that time. Finally lost to Rachmanov. I think Randy Brown is gonna use this as a showcase to show everyone that he's a contender here in the UFC. So give me Randy Brown at -155. All right. Now we're on the UFC 261 main card. To kick off the card, we got a light heavyweight bout. The up and comer, lot of hype around this guy. Jim Crute, number 13 ranked, against the number 6, Anthony Smith. Jim Crute coming in as the fave with Anthony Smith as the underdog at +160. Who do you got?
I'm actually surprised that the oddsmaker is making Jimmy Crute the favorite in this fight. I don't know why. Anthony Smith has the experience advantage. He's fought the better competition. I guess they believe in the hype of Jimmy Crute. He's gonna be a top 5 contender someday, but it's not today. I like Anthony Smith here. Give me Anthony Smith with the upset.
And when I saw this line, I thought the same thing. I'm gonna agree with you here. Another one that I feel that just totally wrong. Anthony Smith, although he's suffered some losses as of late, big losses, right? Just getting pounded by Glover, Rakic. I think he still got it, and he knows that his career as a fighter is on the line with the UFC with this fight. Also, I feel like, he's not going to see great opponents after this one if he does lose. So Anthony Smith as an underdog, too much value. I'm going to go with Anthony Smith here as well. Another one, big fight with this main card. Middleweight bout, number 11 ranked Chris Weidman against Uriah Hall, +100, number 9 ranked. From what I first saw, Chris Weidman was the slight underdog, now has made his way up as the slight betting fave. Who do you have here?
I'm going to agree with the line movement. I like Chris Weidman in this fight. He beat Uriah Hall a few years back before they got into the UFC. Weidman, this is going to be his first fight out of Gym O, I believe that's their camp. Training out of South Carolina or North Carolina or wherever they are. But he's been training with Anthony Smith for a bit, and then what's his name? Stephen Wonderboy for this fight. Uriah Hall, he does have some momentum going in. He's coming off that win to Anderson Silva, but let's be honest, Anderson Silva is not the same Anderson Silva as he was. He actually struggled quite a bit in that fight too before getting the knockout. Give me Chris Weidman. I think he's got the ball rolling now, and he's gonna get to the top 5 within a year or two.
I agree with you here. I think Weidman is seeing a resurgence in his career. In his last interviews, he's saying that he wants to fight for the belt again. We'll see about that, but one fight at a time. But man, what a great performance! What a great showing with his fight over Akhmedov. Given his losses to Dominic Reyes and Jacare, those are big. Those are big names. Losses against Musasi, Romero, Rocco. Man, these are killers. This is killer's alley right here. He's fighting the best of the best, but I feel that Uriah Hall is up his alley at his level. He knows how to beat him. He already beat him once. given that was about what 9 years ago, 10 years ago. But give me Chris Weidman as the slight fade. I feel very good about this fight. Next up, we got one out of the three title fights for tonight. A women's flyweight bout against the number one ranked Jessica Andrade versus Valentina Shevchenko. Shevchenko has a big fave. Some places has minus 500. We got Jessica Andrade plus 350, plus 400 in some sports books. Who do you have here?
I want to pick Jessica Andrade just because of the underdog value, but I don't know how you can pick against Shevchenko. I don't. I think Andrade will be scary when that first two rounds. After those first two rounds, I think it's going to be all Shevchenko. But yeah, I don't recommend betting on this fight. I really think there is some upset potential, a very big upset potential in Jessica Andrade. But because I have to pick, I'm gonna pick Shevchenko. I like her in a decision.
Yeah, although the line shows Shevchenko as a big fave, it was a hard, tough decision for me. I feel like there's a lot of upset potential here as well. But then the more I think about Jessica Andrade moving up in weight, Shevchenko as technical as she is, I think I think they're trying to set up a big match with Shevchenko, whether it's with Wiley if she wins, or if it's with Nunes again later down the road. But Shevchenko, she's on a mission here. Jessica Andrade, uh, she has to finish Shevchenko if she wants to win. She can't win by decision, in my opinion. So at the end of the day, give me Valentina as a fave. I agree with Randee here. I mean, if you're a rich man, go ahead and straight wager this, but definitely not worth laying those type of odds with this type of fight. Too risky, in my opinion. All right. Potential fight of the night, really. Women's strawweight title bout. We got the number one ranked Rose Namajunas versus the champ Zhang Weili. Zhang Weili as a minus 200 fave against Rose plus 165. What's your take on this, Randee?
This is a good fight. These are the two best girls at this weight class for sure. Um, Wally Zhang, she looked good in her last fight against Joanna Jędrzejczyk. I believe it was a split decision. Could have went either way, if I remember correctly. But it was a close fight. Rose Namajunas, she did the same thing to Joanna Jędrzejczyk. But in this fight, I like the underdog. I'm gonna go with the youth. I like her her foot movement. I like her angles. I just think she's technically better on the feet. Yeah, give me Rose Namajunas with the upset.
I see a lot of people definitely going with Rose. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of value here. The more I think about this fight, the more I think about the UFC on the business level. They have a performance institute in China. They've been waiting for their Asian champ. The pandemic slowed that momentum down. After seeing that fight with Wiley and Joanna, it proves to me she has the conditioning. She has what it takes to get into those wars. When I watch Rose, I see the emotional side of her. I see that her losses come against Carolina, come against Carla, Tisha Torres early in her career. Her losses come against fighters that give pressure. Wiley Zhang will bring that pressure. Wiley Zhang is technical, and she fucking definitely has that power to give it to Rose. A lot of people think it's going to be a tough fight. I fucking see this fight easy. I see Zhang winning easy in a great performance. I think she could be the next fucking GOAT. Quote me if you want. Next GOAT, really. So give me Zhang knockout against Rose Namajunas, minus 200. She's a favorite for a reason. All right. We got the main event happening in Florida, in Jorge's hometown, not hometown, but home state. Number 4 ranked Jorge Masvidal versus Kumaru Usman for the welterweight title. A lot of people think Jorge doesn't deserve this title shot, but the champ wants it. So that's why they're fighting today. What is your take on this?
We all seen the first fight. We all seen what happened, despite it being on 6 days' notice. I I'm gonna go with Kumaru Usman. I can't pick against him. Masvidal will probably be in more shape. He'll probably keep it more competitive, but I still see the same outcome. Give me Kumaru Usman as the minus 400 favorite.
Man, it's hard to go against that, right? Kamaru has been looking better and better. And what he did to Jorge, even with 6 days notice, it just goes to show that that's that's Jorge's Achilles heel, really, is wrestlers. But man, the fact that I'm picking Valentina and Whaley, I can't go and not pick an underdog here. I feel like there is going to be one new champ. It's a long shot, really, but the fact that I saw Kamaru get days from what's his name? What's his last
Burns,
fight?
Gilbert Burns.
Gilbert Burns. That tells me that Jorge has a chance here to to finish Kamaru. Don't lay a lot of money on here, but it's a long shot. But I'm gonna have to go with Masvidal in an upset here. All right, now is the time you guys all been waiting for. We're gonna announce our official bets. These are the bets that we're laying our own money on and feel very confident in. Let me go ahead and give it a go here. I'm gonna go ahead and put 5 units on Randee Brown minus 155. 5 units on Weili Zhang minus 200. Give me the champ to retain her title. 3 stars, Chris Weidman as the slight fave. 3 units on the underdog, Anthony Smith, plus 160. 1 unit on Zhu Rong, minus 250. 1 unit on Stefan Seklik, plus 180. And give me a 5-team parlay, paying out as a plus 1,600. We got Rong, Brown, Smith, Weidman, and Zhang. And Randee, the parlay killer, for your official bets.
So I'm gonna go 4 units on Rose Namajunas. I'm pretty confident in that pick, actually. Give me Chris Weidman. I'm gonna go 2 units on Chris Weidman. 1 unit on Anthony Smith. I'm gonna go 5 units on Randee Brown on a 2-2 parlay with Randee Brown and Pat Sabatini. That's all I'm betting for tomorrow.
They look good. They sound good. And now for our Bettors Edge lock of the night. Who do we have, Randee?
Our lock of the night this week will be Randee Brown. He's got some momentum going. His ceiling's very high. I believe he's going to be a top contender within the, I don't know, or at least a top five guy within a year or two. And then Brazilian Cowboy, he's just on his way out. I just can't see Randee Brown losing this fight. That's why he's our lock of the week.
I absolutely agree, for sure. I mean, this is why it's the main event for the prelims. I feel like the matchmakers put this fight because they know that this is a showcase for Randee Brown, with Alex Oliveira being a name, but on his way out. So that is our lock of the night. All right, that wraps up our quick episode of Bettors Edge. I wish you guys all good luck tomorrow. And if you have any comments or recommendations for our show, go ahead and leave them below. Again, I'm your host signing off, Rusty Betts, and that's your co-host, Randee the Parlay Killer. Until the next episode.